Welcome to the Spreadshop Merchcast, where Spreadshop insiders and experts drop knowledge on all things in the merch game. I'm your co-host, DJ Kaufman, and with me today I have Nathan Sam.
What's up, guys?
And Moose Coletti.
Crab cakes, what's happening?
What's happening? So what's going on with you guys?
Not too much.
Too much.
In the design world of coding and building websites. What about you, Moose?
Yep.
Dreaming of merch. Dreaming of the next big design to throw on a t-shirt.
I like it.
Me too. Today's episode is about picking your passion. A lot of people know what their passion is already, but then again, some people don't. So imagine if you could do that thing that you love all day long and quit your friggin' day job. Spreadshop can help make that happen. So today we're going to discuss how you can monetize those passions. And you may have things that you know about that you never thought you could actually launch a shop based on, something that you really like to do. So just to kind of kick this off, my example of ideas of people that I know personally recently that have come up to me and said, like, yo, I need to get some merch. Like my friend Polly from Pittsburgh has a dog called Bessie in Pittsburgh. You can look her up on Instagram. Says she has a ton of followers on Instagram. So he said, I need merch. I'm like, open a Spreadshop, put up, and then he was like, well, what kind of idea? So we talked a little bit, but I think he actually launched a Spreadshop and started like messing with it a bit. And then the other people I could think of off the top of my head are like craft beer dudes. Like it's craft beer week in Pittsburgh this week. And I know so many craft beer guys that have different shirts that they wear, clever shirts, a couple breweries around here that have actually talked about, wow, it'd be cool to have a Spreadshop and not have to worry about stock or inventory of their screen printing. And they never really thought that something like this really existed or was kind of free to use. It's just free to use. What about you guys? Do you know anybody naming names or not naming names in your life?
Certainly, I guess I have a little bit of a real world situation is that I have a local gym that launched and they wanted to get their name out there. And when they first launched, they didn't want to spend a lot of overhead. They wanted a simple way to start getting their name out there and start creating merch and start branding. And almost immediately they were able to launch their online shop and start selling their merch online. They didn't have to worry about any type of stock or anything like that. They were able to brand themselves via Spreadshop as well. So that's something they were able to do across their website and everything. And now people can simply go on and order whatever they want from that specific gym and get it in the exact size they want and get the exact design that they want without the gym really even having to think about it. And the gym's immediately profiting from it as well because they're getting the commission payouts for each and every sale that they have. So it was one of those no-brainer things that they wanted to focus on their gym and they didn't have to worry about apparel at all.
Yeah,
now they're profiting without any minimum amount of effort. So it's something that makes it quick and easy. That's
a great example because I have a similar spin-off. Actually, it's a pretty recent example. This weekend I was speaking with my good friend who's a blacksmith in Maine, and he had the same question. He has a super cool logo. It's got an anvil on it. It's got his name all over it, and he wanted to sell merch. And he's gone the screen printing route before, and gotten stuck with inventory, and really doesn't make too much money when it's all said and done. So I motivated him to open a Spreadshop so he could throw some sweatshirts up there, some t-shirts. He's bought a couple himself he wears because he's always burning holes through his sweatshirt because he's blacksmithing all day. So it's a pretty quick way for him to earn some side cash on a business that he's already, he's focusing on his passion, which is blacksmithing, but he's able to spin it and kind of earn a little cash with his cool logo and his cool ideas.
Yeah, that's really cool. Those are really great examples, like gyms and crafters of any kind. I think that's awesome. Yeah. So the idea here is how to find your passion. So like a lot of people out there don't know the passions that they might already have, or I hear people say like, well, I don't know, I don't really have anything. But then when you actually go through the process of picking it out, they do have something that's hidden away, a little gem somewhere inside. So I thought today it might be fun to do an exercise with you guys and the listeners. If you just grab a piece of paper and a pen. Do you guys have paper and pen?
Sure do.
Handy? All right, you guys down for this? Or?
I have a pencil with one of those trolls on the tip. Does that count?
That's not a pen, sir. I'm sorry. You're disqualified.
I think that's even more fantastic. Yeah, unless you guys don't want people to know your hidden passions, because you may have hidden passions that you might reveal here live on the air, and could be sketchy for you.
We're going to keep this podcast PG, so we don't want to get anything too crazy here. So
right,
yeah, my mom is listening. Remember that?
Okay, all right. Well, let's find your hidden passions. All right, so for the next minute or so, I want you to rapidly start listing off topics that you know of, and I mean, like, if it's a topic that you feel comfortable having a conversation with someone else about, and you're not BSing them, you can actually have a qualitative advice you could give. It could be something as simple as cats, dogs, kung fu movies, just anything that's really that you feel as you're listing these things out. I'm going to set my timer for 1 minute. As we talk this out, you guys just start rapidly listing your things that you know about. Go. And again, they could be just things that you may not, nothing big. It could just be small things, big things. You might immediately know what they are. I could edit the time out of this too, so that we're not actually sitting here for a minute. I could be like, time warp.
Yeah.
Cue the Jeopardy music.
Cue the dude. All right. Or you guys can tell me when you're done.
I mean, I already have listed like 10 things here, so
wow,
I'm pretty much good.
You're the expert of all things. It was pretty interesting to do this myself, because I kind of thought of this on the fly too, just as an experiment, and I actually could see and pinpoint things that I didn't think about, really that much in the past.
I think I'm pretty good. I got a robust list going here.
I'd like to try to guess what you guys listed, but I'm not going to do that. That's another game.
All right. Well, you very, very excitingly say, "Time is up, guys. Put down your pens."
I'm going to say Nathan said karate or something like that, or mountain climbing. Or, yeah. And Moose said like crab cakes, or something like that. You're in Boston, so you know a lot about crab cakes.
Crab cakes and chowder.
Lobster and chowder. All right, cool. Let's just go over these results real quick. Nate, you first.
Do you want me to go through all of them, or just pick a select?
Yeah, go through all of them. Yeah.
Well, I'll start with my the obvious ones, which is, I guess, part of this podcast is my design, coding, CSS, HTML. I'm also a big techie. I like the newest and most fancy tech that's out there, and I like to keep up with it. I like to do a lot of biking, mountain biking, really into motorcycles as well. So I ride one myself. I like to skateboard as well. I like to do active things like parkour, so lots of jumping and flipping. I also am passionate about camping and hiking, so those two kind of go hand in hand. I also enjoy sport cars of different kinds. I also enjoy gaming and martial arts, so quite a little broad spectrum of different things there.
You sound like an awesome human being.
Yes.
Moose?
Would you want a window into my soul?
I want a window into your soul. Give everybody a window into your soul.
Mine also bounces around the spectrum. I kind of surprised myself a little bit. Started off with beer. I used to work in a brewery, love beer of all varieties. Mm-hmm. Then I went to hockey and rugby, some sports interests, food in general, mainly crab cakes, and cooking. I also love dogs. I like to pretend I know a lot about Star Wars. I love those conversations. Mm. I like graphic design. I like drawing. Listening to music, particularly the band is a band that I like to listen to a lot and know a lot about. I like going out in the wilderness, going camping, and I have a beard, so I wrote the word beard. That's pretty much it. So I love my beard.
It's really funny because now that we've done this, it kind of starts to sound like the dating game. We're like listing.
I want to choose contendant number 1. So.
All right. And real quick, I did this before, but mine are coffee, cats, dogs, kung fu movies, 90s grudge bands, 80s cartoons, comic books, drawing, ukuleles, tiki mugs, Spreadshop, and punk rock. So now that we have like a list of things, you probably, when you look at that list, are there like a few words that like pop off at you? Like what's the first things out of your list that really pop at you? Like off of your list, Nate, what's the one thing that you think, or one or two things that really pop off?
If I was going to start making my own Spreadshop off of this thing, is that the question you're asking?
Yeah. I mean, or just in general, like maybe you saw something in there, a surprise that you're like, I never thought about that for a while.
Since it's always constantly evolving, I think tech would always be a good one for me, because then it'd be something that I would always have. Content would almost make itself, because there's always a new product being released almost every day. It would just be my, I guess, passion within that Spreadshop is to update different designs, different layouts, and also keep up to date about what's coming out, so that I can be ahead of the curve. So tech would be the first one I would pick.
What about you, Moose? What smacked you in the face off your list?
I think I've got a battle between beer and hockey, which kind of go hand in hand.
I would say, why separate them? That's a perfect combination.
But yeah, for me, those two passions, I drink beer while I'm watching hockey a lot, so that works.
Yeah, and like millions of other sports fans. And that leads to my next point. Was another thing I did was then you can combine them. Like two topics can combine like Voltron to form a giant topic, right? Or like subgenres become something else. So there you go. That's a perfect fluid example. Beer and hockey, like sports and beer. So it's just kind of like an activity to kind of get your brain going. And you guys we do this every day. So we're actually like already thinking of designs. Like I was already thinking of tech designs for Nate. Like, this would be cool if you did like tech reviews with merch or something. And Moose, I mean, the beer and hockey thing, that just never ends. Like that could go on forever. Yeah. Listeners at home, if you do this and you don't come up with anything the first time, try it again in like a week and see what might happen. Once this is, it might take you more than a minute. A minute is always good, because I feel like whatever it is that you're really passionate about is going to come off somewhere in the top of your head, right? It's just sitting there waiting for you.
Or make it simpler and just list one thing, and then list another one more thing the next week. So that way you don't even have to worry about stressing out about making an entire list. Just choose something that you felt that was really inspiring that specific week and build upon it from there.
Yeah, and DJ, I like the way you kind of started us out on this as picking things that you knew you could like carry a conversation with. So in my brain, because my brain's a little weird, I thought, what if I was trapped in an elevator and couldn't escape, and there was a stranger? What would I talk to them about? Besides the elevator not working, like
beer and hockey.
What is in my soul something I just want to talk to people about?
Yeah.
Well, I talked to him about getting out of the elevator. But I mean,
once we cover those topics of how to actually get out of this elevator, what then would we talk about?
Right. And this also ties into like something else. It's like in sales and marketing stuff over the years. There used to be methods like teaching sales. Like everybody knows something that they could sell as an ebook. I did it personally with a book for cartoonists, and I tried it and it worked. But I mean, it works for everything. Like so. In this case, what you're selling would be shirts to your fans or shirts to a genre, and marketing things out. So if you're listening out there, we want to know what your passion is. If you need some help brainstorming it out live on the air, you could drop us a voice message on the Anchor app, and we might actually put it on the show and do like a cool live brainstorming for you. I think that would be fun. Or just send us a message via any of our social medias and tell them it's for the podcast, and it'll get to us. We can answer the question.
And once you identify that passion, whether it's blacksmithing, owning a gym, and working out, craft beer, like all of our friends, or something else like hockey and beer, get in there, open a shop, create some designs, and build a following around that passion, and start selling merch to like-minded people.
Yeah. Now, Nathan, give him the plug. Give him the plug to launch a Spreadshop. Go. All right. Nope. Moose. All right. Nathan failed. Moose, give him the plug.
Go right now, Moose. Go.
No. So head to spreadshop.com. Sign up. It's free. Get started today. Open as many passionate shops as you want, fill them with designs, and start selling. Did that work?
Yeah. So next episode, we're going to talk about actually making designs for your passion. We'll brainstorm out a couple ideas, maybe some of these that we've talked about here in this episode.
I wasn't sure what you meant by plug. I didn't know if there was something already like you had to that word explicitly. I was like, does he mean, do you just want me to talk about Spreadshop again? Because I already did that.
I'm sorry. I have the weird script in front of me. So at the very end, it's like giving the outro or whatever. But
yeah, I also had it. That's why I jumped in with that little other outro.
Yeah,
but
I also forgot to say subscribe and junk like that, but I don't care.
I mean, we can say it right now and edit it back on the end.
We should make it sound really mechanical. Please subscribe.
Edit here.
Added post-production.
It's time to be your own boss. Open your free Spreadshop now to start selling your custom t-shirts and more to your friends, family, or fans. Find out why top YouTubers, gamers, and creative spirits prefer Spreadshop for their custom merchandise.